Yeah, to Lee's point, I tried to do exactly kind of what he just detailed and put together a column. Bad, good. Okay, and maybe y'all can assist me a little bit here
Okay.
and coming up with some of the bads and some of the goods here. For the bad, I wrote money. Gotta pay to wait less.
Yeah.
However, as much as Disney is being raked over the coals for this, to Lee's point, I looked around and couldn't find any other theme park in the world that, well, not, I shouldn't say in the world. I'm sure there is some. I couldn't find any other major theme park that didn't charge for Fast Pass. Universal has Express Pass. Guests love it.
Oh yeah, it's great.
And to Lee's point is a couple $100. How much was it, Lee? A day?
If you got the basic Express Pass where you weren't able to do everything unlimited, I think the best price we found was $85 a day.
There you go.
And if you did the unlimited where you can go on everything as much as you want, it was $114 a day, and that's per person. So 114. Well, let's just say the cheaper one, $84, $15. Big difference.
Disneyland had Max Pass. Once again, everybody over there loved it. And I can't remember how much was that, 15, 20? I think it was closer to 15.
I think it started off as 10 and they bumped it up to 15. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that's what it is. It was 10 and they bumped it up to 15.
So Disney has dipped its toe in that water before. Six Flags has what they call the Flash Pass, starting at $35 for standard, up to $85 for platinum. SeaWorld has Quick Queue plus reserve seating. That's minimum $19.99. Quick Queue. Busch Gardens also, because they're associated with them, does a Quick Queue for $19.99. Dollywood.
Oh,
freaking Dollywood has the Time Saver Pass starting at $49 a person.
That's not what I thought you were going to call the pass. I don't know.
Triple D pass.
That's probably one of the better names, I think.
That should be a Flash Pass.
That's a great name. Time Saver Pass?
Flash Pass.
Hershey Park has the Fast Track starting at $49. And that's a direct ripoff of Fast Pass.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's and the one sad thing is that Fast Pass was a good name.
Yeah.
No, that's a great name.
Didn't say like Chocolate Shoot or something like that.
Chocolate Shoot.
I was at Schlitterbahn. Last week. Their pass, it doesn't even get you to the front of the line. It's just more like a come back later. There's an hour wait, come back in an hour, you can go to the front of the line. Okay. That is $35 per person per day. If you wanted to, you couldn't even get. You could get the next level, which was they would cut that in half. So instead of an hour, you wait 30 minutes, and that was like $90 a day. And so, like, that doesn't even get you to the front of the line,
right?
And it's $90. I mean, it gets you like come back later, but still, they're like $90 a day.
Yeah,
I think
for a water park.
I think the kicker here is, as far as it being Disney, like number wise, totally get you making sense. I think it's just more of a branding thing, right? Where people or consumers just assume, like, when they think of Disney, they think of family, and Disney has, like the whole, what you call it? Come on, pixie dusted magic, like
Disney family loving. They care about us.
They care about. They want you to have a good
care
time.
About our budget. Totally
right. So I think that in that aspect, in that part of the box, I think that's where people would probably start tripping. Like, well, there's no magic. Well, no, there's still magic. It's just you're getting the peek behind the curtain.
But if you haven't gotten it by now, with eliminating Magic Express, charging for parking, all the different add-ons that they've done, that look, we're Disney and we're family, but at the end of the day, we are a company, we are a business, and when it comes to this particular business model, we are way behind our competitors, and so much to the point that we've been offering y'all a very crappy service for a very long time, that there's a better way to do this. At least it seems to be what they're saying to me here. And don't get me wrong, I totally understand people being like, this is Disney, they're going to screw me. I totally understand that. People being like, look, most people don't even recognize that they're still aligned. Most people just believe that, hey, now that they're doing this, we can't. So wait, let me get this straight. There's two prices, one to enter and two to ride the rides. No, standby is still very much free, but most people don't see that. Why? Because they don't trust Disney. because they're like, yeah, stand by, whatever. You're gonna have us waiting in line for Small World for an hour and a half. Screw you. You're gonna make us pay. That just goes to show how often people are used to getting screwed by Disney, and that's Disney's fault. 100% Disney's fault that people think that they need to pay for this, and they might be right.
Well, there's a theory that I've read in a couple of different things. I mean, I'll get to the forums like y'all do, but like I read a couple of things where people feel that Disney is cutting out the layman, and he's only a person that if you achieve a certain level of gross income.
Oh yeah,
that
gross income.
You can get the full experience like you're supposed to. Now, I mean, I don't really know if that's really true, and I think it's more like a thing of budgeting and planning and doing good with your money. Like you can't go and gamble your house out there in Reno and then come back and say, "Hey, why is it so tough to book a Disney vacation?"
You know what? To your point, Eli, I think the web slingers thing is probably worse than this.
Yeah,
as far as gross income and economy is like what you can afford. If you can buy like all this other stuff, you have a better experience on this ride.
Well, they just shoot you in the eye.
Yeah. And to what Eli said, like they're pricing out the layman. Yeah, I think the laymen are too eager to play martyr on this one. Would you consider yourself a layman?
Absolutely.
When's the last time you ordered waiter? When's the last time you did DoorDash?
A DoorDash?
Uber Eats.
Ooh, Lord. Well, you got me there. I did that last weekend. Had to.
This past Friday, I was going to order sushi and then it was double the price to get it. And finally, I was like, screw this. This is too much money. And I went and got it instead. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't. Everybody has a lazy tax or a convenience tax, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Your waiter, DoorDash, whatever order is always going to be somewhere around double the price of what it normally would be if you just got up and did it yourself. Everybody does this, and that includes laymen.
Well, let's expand that to grocery pickup. That's all over the place. So that's like perfect example.
Exactly. Another great example is Jungle Cruise came out. I could have gone to the movie theater.
Yes. Yeah.
Premier Access, $30 to watch a movie that I've probably only seen once. Really? I mean, it's people will pay, and this is most laymen. We're not talking about the richest of the rich. People will pay a convenience tax for certain things that they just don't have to do. It just seems to be with Disney, they kind of feel like, wait a minute. If we have to pay more, you're already screwing us enough on this, and this. And it's like anything. It's like, this shouldn't have gone away. And if you're right about these 2 or 3 things, why am I going to trust you on this fourth?
Yes.
But to Lee's point, so that before I jump ahead to that, to Lee's point, that's the bad. The bad I can see is money. Anybody see any other bads?
Technology.
That's what I was going to say.
I think you're already.
I mean, there's going to be challenges.
I think you're already dependent on the technology. Any single time you go ahead and book your 3 fast passes, the internet could have been crapping out that day. Disney internet, they're notorious. You were already dependent upon the website and the internet when you were in the park trying to book on the fly as you were going.
It's just Disney internet is just notorious for being.
Yes, I think that would work towards the old system and the new system. Anything else?
I have a bad, and that would be, and I kind of mentioned this at the top of the show, is a whole user experience, user design aspect of it, and how the guest will refer to this system. And I'm talking about lightning passes or the individually selected attractions.
Confusion.
Like because of the way they decided to word things can be kind of confusing. It's not easily digestible to the regular, I guess, layman, for lack of a better word. And the reason why I say that is like I could probably explain Universal's Express Pass pretty easily.
Yeah,
this is how it works. This is what you get. Boom, you're done.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Hagrid's? Oh, that's not part of this. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and the Universal
that kind of
thing.
thing.
You say like you can get something and just go to the front of the line.
Yes.
Yeah, you just get into the line and you're there. You're good to go.
There was never, to my knowledge, such a thing as free fast pass at Universal Studios.
No, not to my knowledge. I think they've been doing it for a while, and they've been the first ones to charge for it.
Anything, if you walked in Universal Studio and you did not purchase it, you had to wait in the standby line. If you purchased it, then boom, you get into a special little queue and you're there. And upwards of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. You know,
Yeah.
Y'all know, but I don't know if the listeners do, but I did take a trip at the beginning of August. But if I had to describe it, Universal Express Pass. Okay, yeah, I could get a ride on pretty much every attraction on that list once a day.
Mhm.
Oh, I want to ride it more than once. Okay, Universal, what's it, multi or ultimate
Unlimited.
Express Pass?
Unlimited.
Unlimited Express Pass. Yeah. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, I can just ride every attraction that's
Exactly
on that
what
list
it says.
all day.
Unlimited. Not
I like
confusing
that.
at all.
But what about Velocicoaster Hagrid's?
But I mean, okay,
it's not on that list. I
but-
can't do it.
can I ask you this? If Disney did unlimited express passes, how much more do you think people would be losing their minds?
Well, okay.
Well, probably some, but my point is more in terminology.
Go for
You know,
it.
if they had maybe like we have referenced this as like if they said the Genie Plus stuff is tier 2 attractions, and the a la carte stuff is tier 3 attractions, maybe that may be something simpler that people can grasp on and understand.
Possibly.
Oh, it's better than individually selected attractions. I
Yeah.
guarantee you that.
Well, I mean, when you say it like that, yes. But when if you actually look at the app, it says you can see it. It's very clearly labeled Lightning Pass included with Disney Genie Plus. Lightning Pass individual purchase. It's very clear when you pull up what's available.
Oh yeah.
Click on this or click on this. So I get what you're saying, but if it looks like it's really hard to misinterpret it. If you're looking at the app, I mean, I think more people would have a wait, which attractions are tier 2? Which ones are tier 3?
Which one I want?
Which I don't know that there's an easy way for Disney to do this. I guess is what I'm trying to
I
say.
was gonna say though to just kind of go with what Kevin was saying. I don't think like I know part of the advantage you had there was money, and I think you're about to ask me like about certain setups of it, but when he says like unlimited, and that kind of gives me the impression that I know there's different tiers to the rides in our park, but boy, you get unlimited, boy, you got you just go into town.
Well, if
And-
people knew that the richest of the rich could ride the ride 18 times before they ride it once, how do you think they feel? They've already limited them to 2.
Yeah, but I think in this case, I know there's something there for the Genie that says like if you want the top the top tier, it's still like a limited availability and that kind of stuff. So even then, and I know Rise of the Resistance is the hottest thing going today, and I totally understand that. But it's like if I'm still chucking out the money, separate bad. This is the bad I'm trying to say. There's still strings attached with what I'm paying for that service, and it's not completely guaranteed because of how popular the attraction is, which I get. It's not a guarantee that I will be able to get on that ride at, say, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
it just depends on what's happening that day.
but
which is
maybe
almost
that's why you're paying $50 less.
But if I'm paying for it, I still should be able to have the chance to see it. I mean, once you put something in parentheses or you put something in an asterisk, it's like when you get the stuff in the mail. It's like you're pre-approved for $50,000. That don't mean you get $50,000. It just means that you got to read between the lines and then call them up and go through all the rigmarole. So
Fair
once
enough.
something is in parentheses, that's not guaranteeing that when I check the box for this limited ISA, that I'm getting what I want when I go on, when I go on that trip. That would be my only caveat on the check on the bad list.
Fair enough, but don't you think for a guarantee to get whatever time you want, whenever you want, at your leisure, that it should cost more than $15 a day or whatever? I mean, for the individual purchases, you can't even make that argument because they're going to give you your time, and either you choose to buy it and spend that money or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's either available or not, so you have you throw it out the window. That's no guarantee on that whatsoever. But if it's available, you can pay for it. So you're not spending a dime one way or the other. But if you're talking about the $15 fast pass,
Yeah, I'm talking about
Then-
the main one. Yeah,
okay,
the
then-
high tier.
I understand what you're saying to an extent, but I don't think it's going to be all that hard to get it because it wasn't that hard to get it in the days of Fast Pass. When there was a Fast Pass Plus and you were getting on there early to book those 3 fast, I think you're probably going to be able to book it on the fly. And if you can't, then that's a legit criticism. If for whatever reason you pay the $15 a day and you don't at least have one shot at everything. Now, if you stroll in at 6 o'clock in the evening, that's on you.
No, I mean,
You know?
yeah, I mean, I get that, but like Kevin was saying, if he goes to Universal, he buys the unlimited package, and yes, if the unlimited package is very expensive, but they say, hey, look, as a company, what we're presenting to you is, boom, you just go first on the ride. You pay this, like no one's stopping you.
And again,
then, yes,
I would ask you a question one more time.
Yeah, it's going to be high.
No, not about whether that be high. How much more do you think people would be losing their minds right now if there was an $85 unlimited fast pass to anything and everything Disney
I think
does?
if you said, hey, look, I'm Disney and I got this thing, and look, this is going to be high, but if you buy this, you're going to the front of the line or whatever. First of all, you just have another line. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't think they lose their minds as much as you have to take this service and you're going to have to relearn this service. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a very particular level that's being offered to the consumer. You know?
For me, it's like with the unlimited Universal Express Pass. I could show up at a park at 6 p.m. and still get on a bunch of different attractions.
Sure.
Yeah, of course, Disney fans are going to lose their mind of this. But if you told me, it doesn't matter when you wake up or when you decide to wake up, go swim in the pool, you show up at the park 4 o'clock, you still have just as good a chance to get into any of the rides that are just as popular. Yeah, I think that'll be worth the money for me.
I'd be right there with you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are being like, this is a cash grab and Disney is pricing out the lowest. Don't you think there'd be a lot of backlash?
I think there'd be backlash if you go and you pay the money and then like you go, hey, I got my ultimate, ultimate nullifier ticket. And they're like, wait, you gotta wait 10 minutes. Like, what? I gotta wait? I just paid all that for the ultimate nullifier ride and I gotta wait. That is like not a word I want to hear.
Can I just add one thing? If people, and maybe this is the point Danny's making, I think we're on the same page here. If you're saying that people are mad because Disney's pricing out the average consumer, when they tell you, okay, $150, because let's face it, it's going to be more than Universal.
Yeah.
If Universal's at $114, they're going to be at $125. So if they said no more free fast passes, but you can get the ultimate one for $125 a day. Don't you think that would they would go super crazy? Like, wait a minute.
It's not even.
Now you're really giving it to the rich people.
I'm with Lee 100% on this one. It's
Why
not
do
even
you
close.
think Universal give it to you for free when you stay at a deluxe resort? Because that's deluxe people that got deluxe money.
I mean, yeah, people are complaining like Disney invented this concept, and really Disney is the last one to the dance on this one, and they're charging the least. Like, I don't know if there's any other bads. Is there any other bads real quick? Because if we can go to the goods real quick, the first one to me would be money. Like, this is the most affordable I've ever seen.
Oh, I was about to say, no, you said money was bad, but okay, now I got you.
No, I'm saying in terms of paid fast passes, I'm not questioning whether or not. I think that everybody out there has a legitimate concern. What is Disney going to do with the fast pass lines and the standby lines? If they release so many fast passes where the standby lines look like what they looked during Fast Pass Plus, look like what they looked, you
can't tell a difference.
Exactly. If those standby lines don't improve, then everybody was right. And Disney did screw them. And they have every right to be trepidatious about what Disney is putting forward. Having said that, again, to me, it would be really hard to imagine that Disney would do that because they don't have to do this. They don't have to say, look, $15, guys, $15, you get to walk on everything else, standby line, you get to get on the attraction, that kind of thing. So money-wise, this is very affordable. And let's hammer it home a little bit, Lee, if you don't mind. $15 a day, that is less than the cost of an alcoholic beverage at Oga's Cantina.
Yeah. That's a turkey leg and a bottle of water.
$15 in Disney money is nothing.
That's a beer.
I was gonna say don't compare to Olga's Cantina because you can't sit down nowhere at Olga's Cantina. At least on one of these rides, you can sit down.
It's one of those things that you walk out of the park and you hit the button and the little thing lights up and swirls around. You're just like, I gotta have it. $15 in Disney. I mean, an alcoholic beverage in most places is going to run you right around the exact same thing. $15 in Disney money, you'll spend a T-shirt minimum $25.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's some
easily.
$30.
Yeah,
$30.
depending on what it is. Yeah.
So money wise, to the good. I mean, and I really do believe this. If Disney does not actively go out to screw its customers, and I'm not saying they won't, but I'm saying if theory works out and they do what they should do here, money wise, isn't that much money. And you work it out to such a way to where people are a lot more, what's the word? Just happier about
malleable.
Yeah, they're like, okay, well, I've done this, but now I have the flexibility to do what I want when I want. If little Timmy gets sick and he has to go back to the room, cool. I can take little Timmy back to the room. I'll grab that next fast pass that comes along when we get back to the parks. No problem. He never missed Haunted Mansion. He never missed Big Thunder Mountain. He never missed anything. And I think that's another key aspect of this. That's another positive that you just don't. If you want something, if this is your one Disney trip a year, which for most of us it is, sometimes we can do twice a year. Most people, this is their one Disney trip every 3 to 4 years. To know that you can see everything that you want to see, to me, is worth a little bit extra, especially considering all the extras that you pay for when you're already over there, just for the sake of having a good time at Disney. 3, you do away with all the meticulous over planning. It's just done with.
Yeah.
You don't have to show up. You don't have to stick to the schedule that you had to plan, because that's when your travel agent or you could get your fast passes at. You didn't have to wake up at the crack of frickin' dawn to do it either. You didn't have to roll the dice. You just, this is what you have. You have flexibility in your vacation. God forbid that all of us get to know what that's like, because I do firmly 100% believe that when people start really experiencing this and they like it, which I think they will, that $15 a day is going to go up really quick.
Nobody had to walk to school barefoot backwards.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah. To piggyback off of that was going to be my positive, was the day
Yeah.
of planning. You know,
Mhm.
it's like if I don't, some people like to do that, but look, in my work life, even the musician life, I got to plan like months ahead.
Yes.
You know, I got to plan years ahead sometimes, depending on the job. But I don't want to have to do that on my vacation.
Sure.
You know, so if this affords me the ability to just do it the day of and not have to worry about it however many days in advance.
Yep.
This is a definite positive for me and
Sure.
my family. You know, because our taste, we might wake up and it's like, I don't feel like doing that.
Mhm.
We could probably change it or do something different than what we planned like 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, if the only way you were going to get to ride on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is the best example, because that's still like hard to get. If the only way you can do it is to go to Magic Kingdom on Thursday, and like you said, the kid gets sick or the park gets rained out or whatever happens, that's it. Game over. No Seven Dwarfs Mine Train this trip, I guess. I guess we'll see it in 3 years from now when we come back. And and I was hopefully dining stays at 60 days as opposed to 180 days. Because now that you don't have that 60-day fast pass, maybe the 60-day dining, that's a little more reasonable. And instead of 6 months out, maybe we'll get 2 months like I like this 2 months out. It's not bad. So hopefully
100%. Yeah. I'll give you another positive that I thought of. Guests staying offsite, annual pass holders, they don't have to worry about people staying at a Disney resort gobbling up all the wonderful fast passes 30 days before they even get a chance to touch them.
Yeah, that's definitely good.
I mean, if you're staying offsite, I mean, this really levels the playing field. Not completely, obviously. There's still a perk or two.
Well, nothing's perfect.
Yeah. But I mean, this greatly levels the playing field between guests who are choosing to stay offsite as opposed to guests who are trying to stay on site.
It brings them closer, at least.
It does.
Than it was before, when it's like they're so far apart.
It was a chasm that you had to get past.
Well, I think to add to a benefit, since there's an algorithm that goes through with the free part.
Yes.
There's an algorithm so that gets to help the family know each other. Because I'm sure they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, well, we have record of some sort of our last vacation based upon what we checked in the boxes." I do like the fact that there's the forecasting. I mean, not like it's Disney. There's gonna be a line anywhere you go, but it is cool to kind of be like, "Hey, look, the projected times are this, that, the other." So that's just kind of fun knowledge to kind of have, and that shows good ingenuity on Disney's part to at least give you that opportunity. So,
Sure.
planning, what do you call it? Forecasting. Good. There you go.
Cool. Absolutely. Now, this one I would put like the next two I would put in the level of possibility.
Possibility. So
As
this
far
is
as
either or?
Positives. As far as
Oh, okay.
positive,
Okay.
there's a possibility that these could be positives. I'm not willing to say it because, again, I understand people having a distrust of Disney at this point. Totally understand it. However, theoretically, this should result in shorter standby lines. Theoretically.
It should.
If you think about it, how could it not? Nobody is walking into the parks anymore with 3 guaranteed fast passes. Everybody that walked in the park at one point, boom, 3 were burnt per person every moment. The minute they walked into the parks, there were no more tiers that were forcing you to go on attractions that otherwise you wouldn't even ride, but you were forced to get a fast pass to them, no matter what. So that should be gone. I mean, and plus, when you consider the very, very, very best of attractions, the ones that people are paying a premium on top to be able to ride, they're limiting it to 2. Well, I mean, shoot, everybody could have get a fast pass to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train before. Everyone could get a fast pass to Radiator Springs races before. I mean, now you can't even do it. No fast passes for any of those, or whatever they want to call it now. So, I mean, the point being is that theoretically, now again, it depends on how many Disney allows. Theoretically, this should greatly shorten the standby line.
I'll give you possibility because that's not on the app. That's just on the amount of people that are going to show up on that particular day,
right,
to have fun. And so there's nothing that can really. That's not predictable. You got to wait till all the people show up. Then you check the forecast algorithm on the app to see.
But it doesn't matter. Everyone that's walking into the park are walking in with 3 guaranteed fast passes. Now you're walking in with maybe 1. I mean, and then you're booking as you go. You can't book the next one. That's how the original fast pass system worked so well. That's why there were still fast passes available well into the day.
So maybe your plus is that it shaves off, say, 30, 45 minutes off of your wait for an extremely popular ride. But other than that, makes it easier for the what do you call it?
Probably gets like the people in the standby line a more reasonable time to wait.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
is that again? Theoretically, it should.
Yeah,
theoretically,
to be told, to be determined.
That should be determined, and that's gonna. By the way, that's gonna be the make or break factor. That's why, like, again, this all sounds great to me, but that is the make or break. If the standby lines are no longer reasonable anymore, if it's exactly what we saw during Fastpass Plus, if all those lines are still taking you way too long to get through, if there's still a freaking queue for Living with the Land, something has gone wrong here. Something is not right, and Disney has done what everyone is suspected that they're going to do. Push them over, yes.
Where are these rides? Where are these lines coming from?
This
is not my house. And this is not my beautiful wife.
You said there was another possibility?
There's another positive I was going to say. Another positive that I would say, again, if this proves out to be true, less time on the phones in the park.
Oh, but you're talking to the virtual assistant, though. So I mean,
no, well, yeah. If you want to have fun,
you want to talk with the virtual assistant. Yeah.
But again, if you do when you did Fastpass Plus, the minute you walked in, again, what was the first priority? Get rid of those 3 fast passes as soon as possible, which left you scrambling for more additional fast passes.
Right.
Which meant you were on your phone, and what was left? The dregs, the stuff that you didn't want, and you're just refreshing and refreshing and refreshing, and hey, honey, I saw a fast pass for 3 people at Space Mountain. I'm going to take it. You keep refreshing, see if you can find it for 2 people, and you just refresh. This should make sure that there are plenty enough fast passes throughout the day. Theoretically, again, depends on what Disney does.
To be determined, yeah.
To be determined. So, in a possible world, that could lead to less because I know for a fact when we went to Disneyland, I was the one doing all the fast passes. It was as simple as, okay, we just use our fast passes. Guys, what's next up? Radiator Springs races at 3:45. We good? We good. That was it.
Ding, done.
I didn't sit there like, damn it, I can't get ready. I'm going to keep refreshing. I'm going to get it. All right, shoot. I just took Big Thunder Mountain, but I'm going to keep refreshing and see if I get that. It was never like that at Disneyland. There was always something available, and we just grabbed it. Yeah. And it led to less time on the phone. The phone didn't die so quickly. It was nicer.
Less stressful for sure.
Definitely less stressful.
Absolutely.
So that was like, so I mean, again, I mean, the positives and the negatives.
Positives are weighing the negatives, but
Yeah.
for those negatives, they are costly.
Well, that's the thing when it comes to money.
And we want to just take a second and thank our lovely Patreon supporters. There they are. And in fact, what you see here is our first Patreon supporters that we've ever had. Definitely appreciate it. And look, if you want to up your support of the Magic Our Way podcast, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way. There you'll find 5 awesome tiers from which you can choose from to help support the Magic Our Way podcast. Again, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way.